Richard Smith in the Motivation Minute, coming from you from the high desert and Elko, Nevada. I want to touch base on a few things today, like changing your thought processes, neuropaths. The world around you is literally controlled by the way you think. If you would realize that the law of attraction and manifestation is completely real and this world is magical, then you probably have a better outlook and perspective on how everything works. You've been stuck in this mechanized unit called a society for so long now that you forgot about finding your worth, your personal value, what you were put on the earth to do. It wasn't work 40 hours a week at a job that you have no emotional connection to and isn't changing the world in any significant way. You settled. When you settle, you start dying inside. I think one of the ultimate keys to happiness is progress. Progress equals happiness. When you stop trying and you settle and you just kind of quit growing, that's when you start dying inside. That's when people hit those midlife crises. You shouldn't ever have to go through a midlife crisis because at that point you should know exactly who you are. If you're hitting a midlife crisis, that means that the first half of your life you really didn't even know who you were or why you were here or what you were here to do. That's 50 years. That's a long time to be wandering around aimlessly. There are lots of beautiful things in this world, and if you can just find what's inside you that you love to do every day for the rest of your life, I think that you will be overall a more wealthy-minded person. I think that things will fall into place for you more so than they have before. I want you to realize that life is like a video game in your head. In a video game, if you think it and you can move your fingers, then that's what happens. That's the exact same thing in life. If you start realizing that the way you think and how you approach things and the people you surround yourself with can have a great impact on your life. I think that if you would realize that at the end, your ultimate goal is to be amazing. If your life was amazing, what would amazing look like? I know a lot of people spent years and years and years, kind of beating themselves up, looking back in their past, wishing they could change things that you can't change. If you would just quit thinking that way, in that negative manner, and turn that mannerism around, and pat yourself on the back for all the accomplishments you've made in life. When you think of your dream, do not think of all the reasons why you can't do it. I want you to think of all the reasons why you can do it, why you should do it, why you were born to do it. Just to let you all know, we have like a 1 in 88 trillion, or 1 in 800 trillion chance of being born a human being. Luck is already on your side, and with, you having those odds in your favor and having this, you are like a priest in a chosen generation. You should feel unstoppable. Nobody should be able to slow you down or kill your energy or bring you down to their level. Misery loves company, but when you're projecting nothing but positive energy, well, you don't have to worry about that negative energy because they want to go on to someone else. And it's almost like you turn a switch off to that part of emotion. It's not that you don't care. It's just you've heard it all before. I can't tell you how many times I've been that person. I know everybody's been that person where somebody comes to you with their problems and this, that, and the other. You talk them through it, and they go back to that problem. They just keep coming back to you, keep coming back to you, keep coming back to you. Eventually, you have to stop being the learning curve. You're not anybody's learning curve. Once you get to a point in your life where you have hit another level, unfortunately, that's kind of the time when you have to cut the bad fruit off the tree. And that comes down to even, erasing people off your social media that, were acquaintances or you met at one time. And, you see their posts and they just kind of annoy you. Those are energy drainers. Even if they're not directly having an impact on your life, in a roundabout way, just from their negativity on social media and you being connected to them, well, you're connected to negativity. And whether you like it or not, everything in this world broke down to its simplest form as energy. Okay, let me say that again. Everything in this entire world, and I mean every little last thing, broke down to its simplest form as energy. Okay? So when energy gets bigger, it moves faster. When it moves faster, it gets bigger. It's a chain reaction. The more energy you have, the faster you'll go. But say you are attaching negative energy to the energy that you already have in progress. Well, what's going to happen? It's going to reverse that effect. Okay? So you can't let yourself fall back. You can't let yourself hang around a crowd that'll bring you down. Or, maybe they are bringing themselves down. You got to get the losers out of your life if you want to be a winner. Mentors are the most important assets you could ever have in your life. And if you could just realize that you were put on this earth to be creative. Use your creative skill sets and your creative mind. Stop being caught up in your little feelings. Okay, there's two types of feelings. There's the type of feelings that you get when you're aggravated or emotional or upset or you have a bad day or somebody says something to you that rubs you the wrong way. Okay, that's what I call your little feelings. You gotta stay out of your little feelings. When you start feeling your way through life, and what I mean by feeling your way through life, you're not thinking, you're letting your soul and your heart take over. And what I mean by feeling is when you make drastic moves and decisions and you're walking through life and you get that feeling in your chest, oh, I probably shouldn't be in this situation, or red flags pop up. Follow those feelings every single time. That's your intuition guiding you down to the road to destiny. And when you'll start noticing those feelings more and more and more and more and more, and when you start following those feelings and looking at what's around you and the possibilities that are coming into your life just by you letting your soul take over. So when I say feeling and you're letting your feeling take over, when you're feeling completely content, there's no stress, there's no anxiety, there's nothing. You're just happy, you're here. That means you're exactly where you should be in your journey. When you get in trouble or you almost get caught and you get that moment, you might even break a sweat where you're like, deer caught in the headlights, I'm caught. And that feeling that you get in your chest, those are the feelings I'm talking about. That feeling. If you realize that feeling is what guides you down the road to where exactly you should be, and your brain is just a complementary tool to kind of fine-tune the things around you and be, innovative. If your soul already knows where you're going, but it doesn't really know how the world works today, that's the only time your brain should kick in. You use your brain to help your soul guide you. Stop using your brain to guide you. That's where all these emotional breakdowns happen. That's where we have what I like to call meltdowns. Some people are really good at being self-destructive. And I think that it's just them not knowing how to work the tools that were given to them. There are certain processes in life that we adhere by. We all grow old. We all keep learning. We are all born. We all die. But why is it that there is only maybe 3% of the people in the world who actually fulfill the destiny that was given to them, their birth-given right? Most people don't even fulfill their birth-given right. That's sad. That's sad. I don't see any happiness coming out of a 40-hour work week with the same repetition over and over and over and over and over again. There's no creativity to that. How could you not start dying inside when you're doing the same thing over and over and over again? So let me just make this a point. Your creativity will take you to places that you never thought existed. You just have to be willing to put your shoulder out there. Take a chance. Just go for it. You know when you've done something amazing. You know when you put something on paper and you read it and you're like, oh man, that's huge. Or you do a video or a recording or take an amazing picture and you get excited about it. And you get all these likes on social media. Yeah. That's life. That's life right there. That's really living. Be creative. Put your creative talent out there. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I don't knock anybody who has any type of creative input. It doesn't matter if they get on a mic and sound horrible. 95% of the world out there wouldn't even attempt to get on the mic to sound horrible. So, if you just start looking at life differently, that person who sounded horrible on a mic, you know what? I know one thing about that person. They learned a lesson from that. They did. They had enough nerve to get up there. They had enough nerve to put their shoulder out there. And they had enough nerve to display their creative talent. Yeah, it might have been a flop, but it was still a success because they learned something from it. If you're not willing to get up and get behind the mic and even sing the song, that's a failure. You failed yourself. And to be perfectly honest with you, most people who fail themselves in that regards are because they're scared of what other people think. They're scared they're not going to sound good or live up to the standard or the quality set before them. And I'm here to tell you this. You set the quality. You set the standard. It's your life. You are an amazing, amazing ball of energy. Because that's truly what we are, balls of energy. So take that energy, take that drive inside of you, take what you were born with and fly. This is life. We get one chance, only one chance, and embrace it. Grasp it. Don't ever let go of it, because there's somebody laying in a hospital bed right now wishing they had your opportunity. This is Richard Smith with Motivation Minute. This is my first podcast. Please join me on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. Look up Motivation Minute on YouTube. Richard Smith on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn as well. I am a overcoming odds motivational speaker and a success coach. And it has been a pleasure recording this podcast, my very first one. And I kind of look forward to the replies and the comments and whatnot. We'll see how far we can take this thing, and, maybe somebody will partner up and really do an awesome podcast. So, America, I love you. This is why I do this. I don't make any money off of this. This isn't what this is about. This is about innovation, showing people possibilities, and letting them know that there's endless boundaries. So y'all have a wonderful day. I enjoyed myself, and I look forward to my next podcast, man. This is Richard Smith with Motivation Minute, and I thank you all for listening.